Hey guys, this is Ambasa here. I'm a founder of 𝐅𝐚𝐜𝐞𝐿 and also I'm a certified in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Architect Professional and also Oracle Autonomous Database Cloud Specialist. So our today's agenda is how do I migrate my on-premises Oracle database to the cloud Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So short form is OCI by using the utility name called ZDM. We call it as Oracle Zero Downtime Migration utility. In the background, this utility will again further call the further utilities based on what approach I will be following. There are 4 approaches in it. In that, main category would be physical as well as logical. So in the physical, again it has 2 types. One is called offline, second one is called online. In case of logical, again it's offline and online. So based on physical or logical, so physical would be a kind of taking a backup and then restoring and then performing so on and so forth. Whereas again logical has the logical utility where it is taking a export and import. So again it is going for a physical or logical, whatever you are using it. In both the cases or in all the 4 cases, you need to make sure that you need to prepare first of all the target database. So that means what we call it as here, this is what we call as an architecture. We'll see, understand how the architecture works in this case. Let's say example, you have this on-premises database. So we are learning now the physical offline migration by using the utility called ZDM. Now here I just supposed to give you the details in this case. So what is the left side? It is called on-premises. So example here, right side we will be taking target database. So this I will be preparing in my cloud. So let's say example what we call for this here. So we call it as a migration paths. So point to note here in your case, the target, so you are trying to go for on-premises database, you are migrating to variety of Oracle databases. So what are those? It can be a Oracle database, Oracle based database service, or it can be Exadata on dedicated infrastructure, or it can be a cloud at customer. We have here autonomous database, or we also have here autonomous database with again it can be shared infrastructure, it can be dedicated. So based on what is your target, you can select one of them. In my example, I just prepared here this case. Here you go. In my example, I have just prepared in this cases your Oracle based database. So I have just prepared with the Oracle based database as my target. So my on-premises database I want to migrate to this Oracle based database, and this Oracle based database I prepared it in the cloud, which is we called as Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI. So now here I just prepared, this is my database. If you click here, and that's what it is ready. This is my database name and this is my DB name and this is my version, so on and so forth. Now here the architecture supposed to again back to understand. So let's say example here. So we are looking for the offline migration. So how the things get started, let's go ahead and refer it. This is my on-premises and this is my target, and I want to migrate by using the utility called ZDM, stand for Zero Downtime Migration. So what it does, it will make sure that it will first connect to my source, and you have to make sure that this ZDM has to prepare it. Either you can prepare this ZDM on your on-premises, or you can prepare this ZDM machine on your cloud. In my example, if you go ahead and see here in this case, let me just show you. Here you go. I'll just go to again navigation menu. So here in the navigation menu, and then I'll go to the compute, and here I'll say here instances. So if I just open it, this instances options where my ZDM, I just prepared it. Right now you can just see that what has been referred. In this case, what I did, I just going to the navigation menu like this here, and then going to a compute, then instances, it gets opened, and here I can just select this is my ZDM machine, which is currently, I stopped it, but yes, I prepared my ZDM in my cloud machine. So you can prepare your ZDM either in on-premises or you can prepare it in even in your cloud. Let's back to this architecture. Here we go. What I said, so I wanted to prepare this machine. There are a lot of steps to be followed to get this prepared. So also again, you can say the refer this ZDM steps to follow. Make sure that once you prepare this ZDM, you will be starting that migration. So an example, I will be trying to say this is how this gets started. Here we go. So this is just a screenshot I collected so that you can at least walk through the same. So here you go. So in my this syntax, let me give you the syntax options. So here you can take this by syntax about ZDM CLI. So again we have to tell it is a ZDM CLI. It's a command line interface. So here we have to say that it's a migrate database. In this database, we are saying that this is my source database name and this is my source machine, and there are multiple options available in it. So once we started this migration through the utility called ZDM CLI, so this is what I said, ZDM CLI. It says that it is started, it is otherwise called executing, and followed by it is again say that it is following so and so forth, the prerequisites, and also it is completing so and so steps are supposed to get it finished. This is what it is supposed to perform. It does some prerequisite checks, getting connected and source and target. So hence we supposed to tell the information has to connect. Back to this architecture part here. Here we go. While the migration, what we expect here is since it is offline, we expect that application should be down because of it's called offline migration. Now we are saying that ZDM, you need to go ahead and connect to my source by using SSH, secure shell. So make sure that while connecting here, you have to give some keys or you do the passwordless configuration and all. So make sure that same way you have to do it ZDM through your target database. This database sometimes called, it's a placeholder target database. So the placeholder target database must be created well before going for this migration. So this should be ready, but what happens? You're migrating your database, obviously yes. But the point here, we are creating well before this target database, yes, but this database will be recreated. Hence it is called, it is useful only to take the pre-structure, remove the data, again stopping removing the data. Again, you need to take the backup of the source database, push to my backup to the Oracle object storage. The Oracle, the object storage where we will be keeping our backup. But I am not taking the right now the backup, rather the backup everything will be taken care by my ZDM. It's possible that I can tell my ZDM, I will take the backup, you will start from there onwards. It's possible, but it is a recommended. It's just you can say go ahead and it is again depends on case to case. I am saying that go ahead and use this ZDM. Tell that you go ahead and connect to my source. It says that connect to my source and start taking the backup. In our example, you may take here it is going to the taking a backup and where it is placing into the Oracle object storage into the location is called bucket. So from there it is again, now maybe I have just a reference here. This is an example. Say example, I just started my ZDM and maybe you can say this though. What I said, so my ZDM has to be backed up to the location called we call as the object storage as a bucket. So I wanted to keep my backup here. So who will take the backup? Obviously the utility called ZDM will take a backup. So let's say it is pushing my backup where it is pushing into the object called as the bucket, we call as service. So here you can see this is the things gets uploaded. In example, what I said, our backup is going to which location? In this location. So example, let's say here I just placed my backup. This is the one. And once the backup is taken, what it's supposed to tell here, it says here, in this case, the backing up my ZDM. What kind of a backup it is taking? Yes, obviously you have to remember this point. It is taking, one is called full backup, and also it is taking an incremental backup. So we have to note of it, it is taking a two kind of a backup. One is called full backup, plus it is taking a bit of incremental backup. So first of all, he has to check everything is okay, and he is able to connect to source, he is able to connect to target. So that means my target should be well before prepared. And then he is checking that we do have a object storage where I can keep my backup, Oracle object storage, which is we call a OBC, object storage container. So there it has to keep its backup. Once the backup is taken, it has to copy it and make it ready. So finally he has to go ahead and prepare by using that backup, he has to go for restore. So it will internally go for restoration. So the target database, what we prepared it is again we call as a placeholder target database. That placeholder target database will be recreated, again will be stopped, again removed it, again recreated with the help of this backup whatever has been taken through the utility called ZDM CLI. Internally this backup is my RMAN backup. It is we call recovery manager backup. Let's keep continue. Here you go. Example, you just say that is what it is maintaining, or the backup is keep going. So you can see that it is what it is referred, and finally you can go ahead and see that this is what the steps which I backed up and see the backup information. So like just given an example, this is my which backup I mean to say, it is called my backup piece RMAN backup. So these are all my backup information. Where it is placed? Obviously in my Oracle Cloud. What is the storage? We call object storage. So inside the object storage, the backup gets stored by the utility called ZDM CLI. But you may expect that how the ZDM CLI know that it has to keep the backup here. Yes, for that I need to prepare so and so forth some certain things, which is we need to prepare some response file to get this done. And here what I need to remember. So whenever we trigger this you can see the migrations part, we said that here migrate your database. So as I said that ZDM CLI migrate my database. So here I mentioned that okay, this is my database name, this is source, you have to start migrating it. Point to note here, I just prepared here response file. You can see this is the response file. So inside the response file I need to put all the information. Where is my, you can say the I have to give a few informations in this response file. So where do I keep my backup and all, I need to mention there itself. So it is asking for okay, go ahead and give me the password for this, where I can connect to my source database, and where you wanted to keep your backup. So you can just maintain the information about your password, about the object storage. We call it as a token information. So token password has to be passed here to maintain the backup to be allowed to store in my object storage. Once this is again given all the information, you can see here it is in the migrate options. So we have two options here. One is called actual, one is called evaluate. So you can test it before actual doing a migration, or you can go for evaluate first and then go for actual migration. Whenever you run this migrate options, you will get one ID, that is we call object ID, so that is job ID. What we call it as, whenever you fire the migrations, the migration will go ahead and give you one job ID. So that job ID I'll be keep querying. So what I need to do, I need to tell that what is my status of this right now the migration is going on. Is it is in the starting state, whether it is completed, or whether it is in pending, or whether it is failed. This all information will be shown to you. Plus you will see here it is still in the the executing mode, the current status will tell you. And it also shows you which step it is right now, what is the phase. And obviously some logs details is given here. You can follow the logs and get the information to be referred. A lot of things maybe it may fail. So I need to refer this log file to identify what is the problem and fix it. And again you can say start from where it has been failed. That's a good job that it will automatically go ahead and you have options for resume. So resume the job, that means wherever it gets failed, from there onwards it will start, keep continuing. That's a good approach, or it's a good tool where it is already inbuilt as a resume options. So we can pause it, we can tell that don't complete all, rather stop up to this point, I'll do certain things again later, you can continue. That is also we can possible to give the you can see the utility to go ahead and perform that way. In this example, what I said, you can go ahead and start migrating. So what is actually we are learning on premises Oracle database. We wanted to migrate by using the utility called ZDM CLI. This is migrations. So backend, what I said, it is taking the backup, and the backup is placing in which exactly, here it's backing up. And where the backup gets stored, obviously it is backup is stored in my object storage. Let's say this is what it is now referred. Here you go. And let's say this is again started. Now how do I check in which stage we are in? We need to tell ZDM CLI query job and -job ID and the job number. So the job number will be displayed. You can also go ahead and check here in the scheduled options. There you will see that what is my job ID. So latest along with the timing. So this number would be my job ID. So what I said here, you will see the job ID. This is the one. In this example, I am just taking this as job ID 7. So you can also refer here the log file, which is again you need to refer this. Either in the, you can say either it is in the log file in the text or JSON format. You can just refer that. And finally, once you say that it is finished, so you expect this is an output. Okay, so finally go ahead and refer. It is backing up and it is started, and at the end it says that it gets completed. So what I expect here, it gets finished. So here you may see this is what the sentence succeeded. So what I need to refer here, I need to check that the status. Is it succeeded? Yes, it succeeded. The succeeded other word is nothing but it is completed all the task without fail. It also gives you saying that okay, this is what the time it is taken to get it finished, overall time taken. So maybe it is again given a reference. You have to remember that is all depends on the size of your database. In my example, it is just taken this much of time. Here you go. Let's keep continuing. So what I said, the status says that it is current status is succeeded. Once it is succeeded, you cannot again further resume. It is already done. So you can see these are all steps is finished. At the end, it is cleaning up the stuff. Maybe you can just go through it. Now, one point which I can refer here is during the response file creation time, I mentioned that my database should be shut down. My source database should be shut down once your migration gets completed. It's possible. So what we will say here, let's go back to this point. Here you go. So here what I'm saying in this case, I said that ZDM, Zero Downtime Migration. So you have to go ahead and connect to my on-premises source database. You have to take the backup, and your backup has to push to my backup location. It is over the, you can say HTTPS, you can say the protocol. It is sending the backup to my object storage. From that backup, it is you can say preparing my target database. Make sure that target database, well, it is already earlier available as a placeholder database, placeholder target database, but it is recreated by again the restoration operations. So hence it says that connecting to a source database, take the backup and orchestrate your transfer the backup. It is automatically takes care of the backup transfer. It will recreate your target database and then switch over the database. In other words, it is shutting down this one, started referring this one. Finally, it says that finalize the migration process. That means whatever it is prepared, cleaning up and all, it will be taken care internally. So that's how the one approach which is we called physical offline migration by using utility called 𝐅𝐸𝐴. But actual main utility is called ZDM, Zero Downtime Migration utility. That's what I just referred, and also I given you how I have completed in my case. This is my final reference. You can see that here I am completed. So again, this is just a reference. This is what it succeeded. Let's take another example. Let's close this one. I will try to just go to the another folder here. Let's take next one. So the next approach which I need to explain it here is online. So again, let's go to the theory part. Here you go. Just giving before the next one. So migration paths are the what? The target can be a Oracle based database service, or it can be a dedicated infrastructure or cloud at customer. Maybe your accelerator machine at your premises, or maybe the accelerator machine at the again cloud at customer, or maybe it is in cloud but is in shared options, or maybe in dedicated options. Like that, many more possibility of your target database. And target database must be in the cloud based on what services you referred it. Either it is a Oracle based database service or the other one. Next, here you go. Next point. So here what I just mentioned, some prerequisites, some time we supposed to remember, we call as a configure the placeholder database. This is what keep referring in the target before beginning your migration process. Your target database can be a accelerator database, maybe it is on dedicated infrastructure, or maybe it is at a cloud at customer, and maybe you can say the base database service. So it's some point to note here, the database must have the same name. So again, name must be the same, and you can say, but if it is for this base target database, as an example, if it is a target database is a base database service, so in that case database can have same or different database name. Here we must and should have different name. This should be different. What is that? DB unique name must be different. It's mandatory. And important here is sys password should be must be same. Source and target sys password must be same. And so on and so forth. They given you list of the things what you need to make sure that must be same, must be not same, or must be different, and should be SP. You should have a SP file. You should have a time zone. You should have compatible. Those all you have to double check what is possible and what is not possible. If they are not follow the prerequisites, then your migration may fail. It's important to note those are all stuff. And some cases where TD is required, transparent data encryption. Again, source should have a TD enabled. If not, again, it will not be possible based on what approach you have selected. Like this, you may have to go ahead and refer some prerequisites. Let's take an example. We will be going for this approach. Now, this example I just trying to cover here is my case. I'll be referring physical online migration. So when I say it's online, your application still accessing my source database. While accessing, I'm preparing the second migrating. So here the approach number says here your ZDM will first of all he will go ahead and take the backup. So here it says here it is taking a backup. So it is first finishing this task. After backing up, it's clearly mentioned here starts the migration process. So it's connect to my source database, take the backup. So hence it is backing up. In this example, it is first finishing this part, and again taking the backup, transferring the backup, all it is given here. Preparing your standby. So hence it is now it's clearly mentioned. So using this backup, it is making this target database as a standby. Remember, I prepared this database as an independent, as a separate, as a standalone kind of a database. It can be a rack, but I prepared as a standalone. But later this gets re-prepared as a standby. So once it is re-prepared as a standby, so now your data will be now restored and as well as prepared as a standby. But now it is now just a copy. During this preparation time, if any changes is happening, I wanted to sync it, because I wanted to allow this database to be used during the migration process. Let's say this database is terabytes of data. So during that terabyte preparation on the other side, this may take hours and hours. During that hours and hours transformation case, I don't want to allow my applications to take a downtime. So to avoid that downtime, we are saying the keyword online. So once you transferred it in between, let's say there are huge things has been changed, that changes whatever has happened during the migration phase, I wanted to sync it up again. So hence it is called as a synchronize your primary and standby. So once they are both are in the same phase or in the same state, then you take permissions about the cutover or switchover. Hence it's called switchover. So the role would be swapped. So that means your primary, and this is my standby. The on-premises database is a primary, and the cloud database is a target as a standby. You need to do this switchover. So this ZDM, we will tell that don't complete at one go the entire story. Don't finish this all. I am asking hold for after this completion. So once you prepare the standby, you start synchronizing. Don't do everything with switchover and all, because I wanted taking a confirmation based on the downtime what we have it. But the heading is given zero downtime migration, but little bit again migration point of time. So your things gets role changed. Till that it would be a little bit near zero downtime, we call it as. And finally, we can say that once the swap is done, you can finalize the migration and ask your application start using the target database as your original database. Like an example, I have just taken some screenshot here. Let's show you this. Here you go. This is my physical online migration, an example. Again, I just referring the some syntax. What it says here, again, I have to tell what is my utility name, ZDM CLI. What we actually doing, we are migrating a data set. So migrating from which place to which place, on premises to your cloud. So again, the on premises details is given here. This is my host name and all those stuff it's given. At the end, we are saying that this is my response file, making sure that you take this response file. Like this, I just refer this my response file. And also I mentioned that you, while taking a backup to store in the cloud, you use this user details, and I'll give you the password for that. You take that username and I'll give the password for that, and then you enter that password here and just transfer the backup to the storage, object storage. Now you are connecting to the source sys password must be same on source and target, otherwise this gets failed. So that's important. While creating a target database as a placeholder target database, your target database sys password must be same. That's how you have to make a note. In case you are not prepared it, you can again log in it, and if it is you can say you can go ahead and change that as well. It's possible. That's how we can just do it. Next, once I just prepared this one, what is next? So obviously, as I mentioned, whenever you run the command, let me just give you a point here, say example here. So I just executed the command. So what mode I have referred? Obviously, I now refer evaluate. What does eval stand for? It is just evaluation, nothing but do only just testing. Don't do actual migration, rather just do a testing. During the testing case, it says, okay, this is my job ID and all. So I can query that job ID. So now here I can just say that this is one thing which I can refer, whatever the job ID is given. And in between, I just taken as a job 11 because in between it may be failed and we have to fix it. In my case, it got failed many more times. So I just fix it and then I get started again, and now it is now preparing. So here it's clearly mentioned what is my job type. Obviously it says that it is in eval mode. I'm saying that okay, go ahead and refer this eval mode. It started checking this all stuff. So as I mentioned that it is sometime it may fail. Here's an example. It is failing. If it's failed, then you have to go ahead and check the log file and then fix the errors. After fixing the errors, again say resume it. So you have to do that all stuff. It says that it is failed. Make sure that you have to fix that whatever the errors keep coming, and after that is finished. Here you go. So maybe it is finished and again I just resumed and so on and so forth is completed, and at the end you will see this has to be referred. So here's an example I just completed. See what kind of a migration I'm doing it. Obviously I'm doing here the physical online, and what it is doing it is preparing the backup, it is taking a backup, and finally it is configuring the you can say here it is doing a cloning and finalizing. It is now here it is configuring the data guard. That's a point to note. Here it is preparing my data guard. See, configuring my DG. This is the step. And also it says that it is doing a switchover. So before that you can also say that keep synchronize and all. So hence we say that keep synchronize it. So maybe if you are okay, then you can go for do a switchover. And it also says that you can shut down the source if it is not required. Okay, so again you can stop it if you don't want to use it. So like this we have steps to refer it. Here you go. This is the case. What I just mentioned here, I just checked my source after migration. You can see here, this is the host name when it was started is a source database, and now it is converted as a physical standby. In between I checked. So the primary, you can go and see here what it says in our case. Here we go. So this is my primary, this is my standby when it is started during the migration. So later this becomes a primary and this becomes a standby. To just give you that information, here is the one which I said. Now the source now saying that it becomes a standby. Here you go. Let's say this one. Yeah. Now what I am just checking here, your source here it is say the source will be becoming the physical standby. Who made it this all stuff? It is again taken care by ZDM. So next what it says that this target, which I say this target is now becomes a primary. Initially it was independent, later becomes standby, later becomes back to primary, and now you are ready to use this. So and also it does a synchronization in between. So any changes is keep going, it is required at the synchronization part. So hence this architecture says, so you need two connect. One is you are performing initial would be the primary, you are making a backup, you are using this backup, you are preparing as a standby, and after standby gets prepared, keep syncing the primary as a standby, and once you are ready to go for switchover, in one go you can go ahead, but you say that switchover, swap the role and ready to use it as a primary. This is what the steps supposed to say. We call physical online migration, internal using a data guard by the utility called ZDM. That's what I just covered in this case. Let's say example, I'll go with the next approach. Example here, logical offline. Let's take logical offline case. I'll take another document here. Here you go. So this is my logical offline. Now I'll just try to go ahead and refer this logical offline example. So this is my third approach. I can refer it. I can say that here I'm exporting some variable, and I'm saying that go ahead and do the this logical migration. So here response file, I can just mention this is my offline, logical offline, and it may ask give me the password for so and so forth. So this is we called as a system user password. So in this case, sorry, give me a minute. Yeah. So it is asking for give me the password. So I'll say here this is my system password, and this is my this is my system password of the source, and this is a system password for my the target. Here it says source database, this is my target database. We call it as a administrator password. Why I'm giving this a system password? Because it has to perform the export and it has to perform the import. So hence the architecture says here you supposed to go back to this architecture. So what does this architecture says? How do I migrate my database? Obviously you have to tell this is my on-premises, and this is my target, and this has to be again we called as a target database should be up and running. It is we called as a placeholder target database. The ZDM will go ahead and connect to my source, take the export, push the backup to my the backup using a data pump. It is performed here. It is perform validations, connect to the connect to backup locations. You are okay, and take the export via data pump from the source, and then doing the import using that backup. So this backup again stored in which place? Obviously in the object storage. So we can also keep it again. This is what we have referred. Once the backup is placed in the object storage, it is taking again performing import. At the end, it will finalizing the stuff and ready to use that as the target as the original. We call it as a finalizing and ready to use it. So in this example, let's try to take, here you go. So I have executed this command to perform this migration. Here it says that okay, so we have started which mode? Obviously the job type would be a migrate only, not evaluate, not a eval, and it is performing so and so forth the phases. So it has a lot of phases. So currently it is in which phase? It is in the given phase. It will give you, these are my phase names, and this is right now status, whether it is executing or whether it is you can say it is in failed state. So you have to double check that. Log, again log files you can verify here and refer accordingly. Let's say example, it is now started and it clearly mentioned that now succeeded. What kind of a migration succeeded? Logical offline. So offline is the word where your source supposed to be not accessible during this particular phase. Otherwise any changes you do it on the source will not be given to the target. So that's important. Once you backed up, once you say export and then go for push that back up to the central location, which is we call again object storage, and from there you can go for import. We also have a speed up purpose of parallel operations and all. We can do that whatever approach you use it in the on premises export import case. Same thing I can use it in the migration case as well. I can put my parallel count and all to make sure that this gets speed up to get it migration gets completed. So this is how the time taken, and I just refer the log file later to get this. This is what my log file location, and that's the log file I highlighted. So in my example, I just referred here. This is my log file. That log file I just taken here in the tail format. It will show you the last 10 lines. So without some number. So it says that it took around so and so minutes. In my example, very small schema. So hence it is taken very you can say negligible time. So in case of logical you can say the migration, in case of logical migration, we called as using the ZDM utility, but backend the logical migration will use export import EXPDP and IMPDP. Okay, so that's what we supposed to say. Now here it says that it is backing up using this particular syntax. You can go ahead and see that I have used the so and so forth parallel, so hence it is referred and it is taking the backup. It is clearly mentioned that what is the schema and what exactly, this is again schema level backup and you can say reach to. It's not entire database, rather it is a schema level. Alright, so again it says that here the backup goes to the cloud storage bucket. This is the bucket name where it is dumping the backup. A point which again just mentioned, this is how the things gets finished, and it also gives you while importing it is referred this all log. That's it. So we supposed to say this is the third approach while using a ZDM utility. We call it as ZDM CLI. It's a command line interface utility. Using that utility, we are performing the logical offline migration. Other word, we are performing the EXPDP or export using a data pump and then pushing that to your central location in the bucket and then performing the import. And once it is finished, you can use this as your original. Let's go for the last but least. Last is important and very expected. You can say the configuration in the real time. People expect you to do this rather than the remaining three, but again it is a whole depends on case to case. So I would say that it required this is a complex you can say setup. So here let me explain slowly one by one. So what I said here, this is my on premises and this is the target is my cloud. So as I keep referring, we are migrating on premises Oracle database to my cloud. In this example, we are preparing this target database as one of the Oracle base database. Now here what it says that you are connecting to the source and target. Since we are using an internally Golden Gate approach, so Golden Gate says that I will take the changes information, I'll push to the target place. The Golden Gate will never tell I will start taking existing data. So the existing, we can do a separately, take the initial load and perform the, you can say the initial load completion, but that is approach we are not using it here. Rather we are saying that the initial load you have to get it done, or the existing data you have to take care by using the data pump. So hence we need to tell that ZDM, you take the backup through ZDM, using a data pump for the existing. Before setting up this all backup and all, first prepare this Golden Gate hub. So you need to make sure that before going for this particular the ZDM to you can say to begin with this migration approach. What is that approach supposed to say? Logical online migration. What is the utility? Main utility is ZDM, but backend what we are referring, the Golden Gate hub. Why we use the Golden Gate hub here? To make sure that the existing the ongoing changes, I wanted to make sure that it has to be later to give it to my target. It has to be later to give, but you have to capture very beginning. So you start capturing here and then push to the other place. That's how we supposed to tell here. So that's what we purpose to go with this. You need to go ahead and prepare the Golden Gate hub. So again there is a you can say the few steps to follow to get this prepared. In an example, I just try to show you here. In this case, I just prepared, this is my fourth, the options. Here you go. This is the one. Logical online migration. And here's the, what we can say, configure the Golden Gate hub. So you need to make sure that first you need to configure your the Golden Gate hub. Again, there are many steps is available here. So I just try to give you just a quick glance. This is my again OCI where I can just go ahead and refer, and I'm trying to go for marketplace, so and so forth, and just select this all and get this done. So an example, I just prepared this stuff, and in my case, I just say that this is my ready example. My Golden Gate, the hub is ready. So I can just go ahead and connect to my hub and provide the so and so password, and it is ready now. So what is prepared? We prepared the Golden Gate hub. Where exactly we prepared this Golden Gate hub? In my OCI. So again, this Golden Gate hub, I prepared it in my OCI. After that, and again there are certain conditions, we can prepare this in my on premises, but conditions are apply. So right now you need to remember this is what I prepared it in my OCI. Let's take an example. You prepared this. Here you go. So what we have prepared? We prepared this one. Why we prepare this? So that later the ZDM will go ahead and prepare this extract, replicate, and initially it is preparing only this. It will perform the logical backup, transfer the backup to my storage, do the import. After the import is done, it will start replicate and apply the changes. That's what the information given here. So this is what it is. It has to finish the stuff. Once this is ready, you can go ahead and now, let's say example, here is the some screenshots. I can refer, go back to this place and see how the migration I just completed here. Here. Yep. So just given some screenshots. So it is automatically preparing, connected to the source, and this connection string is prepared. I did not given anything backend, everything is taken care by my ZDM. So I just tell my ZDM, go ahead and connect to my source. This is my source, this is my target. You do it, everything, whatever. I made it only for you. Deployment is ready. My Golden Gate hub is ready. Now you have to go ahead and get this done on your side. So what he does it, he will go ahead and perform some so and so forth. He has to prepare extract and he has to prepare the replicate. But in between it will get failed so and so forth time. So it maybe gets abandoned and we have to get it fixed. It says that some cases where your memory is not enough, you have to make sure that you should have a proper memory to be set. In this example, I just said that okay, so he has given me certain memory, that is 3000 bytes, but I do have a very less. So I said okay, go ahead and I will increase it, and it also prepares my parameter file. So again, extract parameter, it will get prepared everything. So in this example, I'll be saying that I'll be taking this pluggable database, this schema, and all the tables. Again, it's a logical replications performing. So it is established the source connection, it is established the target connections, internally everything is prepared, preparing the extract, preparing the replicate. So making sure that just even some example, I said that I have a 10 records on my source. During this case, while migrations keep going, export import is going on. So I just say that there are right now they are not again you can say the fully synchronized. Maybe I'm doing some changes on the source. I'm just inserting some records on the source here. So this is the one record I'm inserted on the source, and I'm saying that okay, go ahead and check my inserted record, which is extracting by my extract, the golden gate. The golden gate extract is extracting my data, which is what I have inserted here, and that internally while it is extracting in a backend, it is performing export and pushing the backup to my again bucket, and this is what the dump file what has been prepared, and it is using that dump and it is importing. Let's say it is imported, everything is now done. Now any changes is happening, it is now using the replicate, it will synchronize it. Whatever the one record I have inserted in between, it gets synchronized. Now I can confirm or compare that okay, this is my source, this is my target, and they are now sync, we are ready. So what it says that okay, so you are done, so you can just resume it, and we are supposed to say this is what it's finished. So at the end it says that I have completed all the steps. If you want to keep your dump files, you can say that you want to keep your dump file, or you can also ask to remove it. In my example, I just mentioned you can keep it. So it's mentioned that okay, it is stopping and then cleaning up. At the end it says that it is also stopping. Here it says that stop the forcefully this replicate, whatever it has been prepared. Same way it is again stopping my extract and the replicate. At the end it is stopping it, and also it is cleaning it. So hence you say that is running values would be 0 and 0. Yeah, that's it. These are the 4 approaches I have explained you how to do the Oracle on-premises database migration to the cloud Oracle Cloud Infrastructure by using the utility Oracle Zero Downtime Migration. For further details, or if you want to learn with practical, you can get in touch with us by visiting our website 𝐼𝐼𝐼.com. Provide your name, your contact details, and your email ID, and which courses you are interested. So we can go ahead and see that here list of courses on our website. So these are list of courses you can see here. So whatever the courses you will be selecting, will make sure that you will get along with theory, with practical, with deep dive. So please contact us. These are our contact numbers, and also they are WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye bye.